Hi, so I've literally just finished doing this interview, and in the interview, actually, one of the questions that I was asked was, why do I write songs? And or like where does your songwriting come from? I think that was more the question. And I was just saying that actually I have this idea, this kind of YouTube video idea about talking about the Muse, because sometimes I think we think the Muse is external to ourselves, like I have to go and find the Muse, and it has to be outside of me somewhere. But really, I think the Muse is within you, even if your songs, or whatever it is that you write, whatever, this applies to all creativity really. Even if you're writing about someone else, that it's still from your perspective. It's still really about you, and I think you can connect to that part of yourself more if there aren't lots of things or boundaries around it that's kind of constraining it. So, for example, maybe you feel there's fears about what your writing will be, whether it's good enough, or not allowing sometimes to write a bad song, because you're going to write terrible songs and you're going to do terrible, you're going to create things that aren't great, but it doesn't really matter, because from the terrible stuff comes the good stuff. So there's fears. Other one is perfectionism. So that kind of constrains the creativity, because you're trying to make it into something rather than just letting it be whatever it's going to be. That really is one of the biggest things that can make you either free-flowing or completely not free-flowing, I've found. But all of these, the inner muse really is a place inside of you that's open and willing to hear what arises, what comes out. And if you're willing and ready to hear what is bubbling up within you, and you're able to grab that pen and write it down, then that inner muse there's always going to be, the flame is always going to be burning, the flame is always going to be there. But sometimes also we don't always hear it, we don't always listen to it, and we say, I'll catch that again some other time, and you won't, because that was just what was happening in that moment. And I think if we look at the role of the artist, the true role of the artist is just to completely follow that freedom and see what wants to be expressed. And when the artist does that fully and freely, what they end up giving, I think there's some magic that's going to come out of that. And I think that is really what the role of the artist is to follow that, not listen to other people, but just follow your inner freedom. Okay.